Hi everyone. In this video interview we are discussing the mind randomization system, and this is a system manifestation that was manifested as a backdrop, like a veil extended from the center of the head region at the back of the head into the occipital bones, back of the neck, spreading out on top of the shoulders, extending across the shoulders at the back, remaining at the back of the human physical body, down over the ribs and into the coccyx bone of the human physical body. So it's like a sheet. It looked like a sheet that was manifested and laid down within that area of your human physical body. Now, what was within that sheet, that veil manifestation, was the conscious mind thought pattern information in a varying variety of forms, shapes, symbols, memories, pictures that was manifested within this sheet, manifested within and at the back of your human physical body. So it almost looked like a cloak as well. Let's give a more practical, tangible reference, like, you know, those cloaks that you'd put over your shoulders, but instead of it hanging from over your shoulders, it was hanging from the top of your head. And within this cloak manifestation was your total conscious mind thought pattern information and constructs. So as we have explained within video interviews, and for one would like, one can have a listen to Lily's video interviews that she'd done on the beginner's conscious, subconscious and unconscious mind, where it's basically explained in terms of how your conscious mind thought manifestations manifest in actual patterns that come from your personalities in your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind behaviors and your physical mind living beingness, where your thought patterns will accordingly motion within cycles that will activate certain personalities or keep certain personalities intact within certain given situations that you are participating in within your external environment. And as you're participating in your external environment, you're always stimulated in terms of the activation of your required personalities, and that will activate through thought patterns, and within that change your behavior and your total living beingness towards what it is that you're facing in your world and your reality. So in terms of in the world system as a whole, you are constantly ensured to be stimulated mentally in doing school, universities, jobs, traveling, family, friends, colleagues, in essence surviving within all the systems that is existent in this world system, as relationships, money, sex. And as you're constantly and continuously moving through all those systems, your mind consciousness system is accordingly stimulated and will activate your personalities and your according beingness, behavior and thought patterns to constantly and continuously be maintained within your mind consciousness system. However, it does on occasion manifest where your mind consciousness system is not stimulated enough within your external environment to constantly and continuously generate thought patterns stimulating personalities, where as you're living those personalities, you're more and more and more excavating substance from the physical for the total mind consciousness system to get energy. And what happens then is there can be moments or times or occurrences where it's like your mind starts slowing down because you're, for example, busy focusing on only one singular thing, like studying, like watching movies, like cooking, like sitting on the porch looking out at the stars, like having a very long conversation with one person, with sitting in the study hall listening to one person. So anything within your world and your reality that focuses you on one point for an extended amount of time can cause the mind consciousness system to slow down within its ability to obtain the required energetic charges to sustain its survival. And then what happens is this mind randomization system activates, which holds all information in terms of your conscious mind thoughts that would activate personalities to activate you into excavating energy out of the physical for the mind consciousness system. So what the mind consciousness system would do is, in essence, manifest that as an internal stimulation system, where because you don't have external stimulation, you now have your internal stimulation, so it will start throwing out into your conscious mind random thoughts and random pictures to see if you're going to get a bite in terms of activating a particular thought pattern, and so activating a particular personality system, which is like, for example, why sometimes suddenly, unexpectedly, it'll feel like you want to move, you want to do something, you want to get out of the situation that you're in, you can't sit still, you can't focus, your attention is not there, and you'll immediately already work out, like, what am I going to do next, what can I do, where am I going to go. That would be an indication of a personality activation, and where you're now preparing and activating yourself to live out that personality into the unconscious mind so that the mind consciousness system can get its required energy. So that's why, for example, and what explains focus and attention, and why you can only focus or pay attention to something or someone as one point for only so long, because the mind consciousness system starts running out of energy and then becomes fidgety and anxious and rigid and like almost like there's like an adrenaline addiction in terms of I've got to move, I've got to get away from here, I've got to do something different. Which is also a protection and defense mechanism the mind consciousness system integrated, because if you actually just start focusing on being here with that one point within and as breath, you'll actually transcend that pattern and that habit of constantly and continuously feeding the mind consciousness system energy through alternating your personalities within your mind consciousness system. And therefore, with Destiny, we emphasize that point of when you're participating with something, with someone, breathe, be here, and see it through in walking that moment to its completion, and not accept and allow oneself to participate with another human being in having one's secret mind backchat, internal conversations, thoughts, and reactions run rampant, because all you're doing is sabotaging yourself, your opportunity of self-realization, as well as a relationship with another human being. So realize that what that experience is when you're focusing on one point the whole time and your mind is starting to race with all these different kinds of thoughts, that it's this internal stimulation system that is randomizing your thought patterns in your conscious mind to get a bite of a personality system that would interest you in that moment in terms of going and doing something else and already thinking about the future, instead of being equal and one with self as here, as breath, as breathing. So assist support self within one's process when you're sitting and listening and hearing for a long period of time. And I'm sure many Destonians that have walked with us have practiced this quite a bit in listening to our video interviews, where those random thoughts just automatically started coming up and become like physically addicted to a need to move and get out or change or alter direction. It's simply your mind consciousness system telling you, hey, I need an energy fix. So assist and support yourself to move through those resistances of sitting still, of breathing, of being here with your human physical body. And another point in your world and your reality, it'll take time, it'll take practice, and it'll take discipline, because remember, we've become the system. And it is now an automatic self-program that is lived out as self in one's human physical body and world and reality. Yes, we've removed the system. However, this now gives one a window of opportunity to assist and support self in changing this point for and as self. So practice breathing, being here, and breathing through that resistance. Remember, it'll take you to like a real peak where it'll feel like you've got to force yourself to breathe and sit down and be here when listening, when participating. So it's like the mind consciousness system going into a hissy fit tantrum saying, I'm gonna die, give me energy. So it's like screaming and yelling at you. It's just a tantrum. Just breathe, tell it to stop and fuck off, and say, I'm focusing on this interview, on this person, I'm listening here, I'm being here, this is my decision, this is my directive principle, this is who I am in this moment. I'm not accepting and allowing myself to be directed, influenced, and controlled by a mind. I'm in my process of establishing me within my human physical body, in my self-equality and oneness. I'm here. Okay, that's it, and have fun.